All right, we're getting camera issues worked out here. Hold on just a second. I may have to add it to you.
There it is. All righty.
Push the right buttons, Brad.
Gosh.
There's always something to do, right?
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, we're glad to have you along here. Uh, I know some of you have thought, well, we have abandoned high school talk altogether, and we're just going to be in Razorback talk from now on. But the vision really, I think, for ASN is that we become a one-stop shop for all of your Arkansas sports needs. I think we can do that.
It's just a big task. We so much to do. We thought we were going to be doing basketball turn on Monday, and that
Right.
didn't work out how we planned. And
Yeah.
we were able to actually get a podcast in, but we just so busy the past couple weeks, and Thanksgiving week, I was sick to start it, and just couldn't do nothing.
And the White County tournament, we'll be with you or tomorrow evening for that one. Actually, tomorrow afternoon, I guess, starting at 4 o'clock. We're still trying to figure out if we can do two gyms or just one right now. We've got football Friday night. I don't want to go public with that just yet, because we may have two spots that we're going to do, not just one. So we're working on that right now. We got to get an answer on that, by the way.
Yeah.
Two semifinal spots. So we're looking forward to possibly being in two spots this weekend. And then Saturday, we'll have the White County final. So the way I've got it figured, you'll actually have ASN on the air 4 days in a row with games, which, in this new setup that we have, Justin, I guess there's no excuse not to do it, right?
No, there's not.
And so, anyway, we're excited to be doing it. I mean,
Oh yeah.
who would have thought many, many, many years ago when this thing started that we would be on the air as much as we are? But anyway, glad to have you along here as we are bringing you the Audible. We're going to talk about what happened last weekend and kind of where we're at right now, which, sadly, you wait all season long, you wait forever and ever and ever for high school football to start and football to start, and then all of a sudden it's here and it's gone.
Yeah, it's
And
it's a little sad,
and
but
that's where
that's
we're
what
at.
it is. Yeah.
And that's where we're at right now. We're not quite done yet, but man, we're down the road. That's for sure. We're down the road. So anyway, but yeah, we want you to encourage you if you ready, like, share, comment, subscribe. That's me over here. I'll get that muted in just a second.
Dang it, Bobby.
Right. Anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're on YouTube, and if you're not on YouTube, you probably should go over there. I guess that's probably one way to say it. But
Highly
you
recommend.
we love Facebook too. So
We do.
anyway, we've got a chance to do it all. So we're just doing it all right now. So
Nothing better to
anyway,
do.
Justin's getting things in place right now, and I guess we're going to start with the 2A, right?
Here we go. Let me get that right setting, and bam, there we are.
All right. So final two here. We got East Poinsett County and Cross County will play each other on Friday at noon, and
We got one of those teams right.
yeah, yeah. Well, and we probably need to do one of our members only shows where we talk about what happened and all of the marks and stuff on the bracket. It's just there's so much going on right now. It's been hard to get to that. So anyway, but yeah, East Poinsett County, they move on. We've had them number one all year. They haven't moved off that number one spot all year long.
Mm-mm.
And the team that challenged them the most in the conference was Cross County, and they're going to play each other. Mount Ida, uh, I think Mount Ida gave a game effort
They did.
against East Poinsett County. It's just hard to go all the way over there and beat EPC right now.
Yeah.
EPC is making their third finals appearance in a row, and they lost the first two. This time, I think that they're the odds-on favorite, but that doesn't mean that they're
You
going to win.
you can't count out Cross County at all.
No, you
D1
can't.
talent on the defensive line. Just man, they're really
Boy, he's
good. What they did to
something.
Junction City, he really is. What they did
Yeah,
to
no.
Junction City was amazing.
Yeah, he's something. Danny Beal, if you don't know, and by the way, Danny Beal has now become an Arkansas Razorback. Been a lot of news around
Good job,
Danny,
Danny.
and the number one player in the state. And I'll be honest with you, I have been so just encompassed with this that I haven't paid a lot of attention to what's going on in recruiting. I think some of it's because Arkansas is so bad, and I knew he was going elsewhere. I knew he was going to Oklahoma State, and I really didn't even begrudge him for it. I was just like,
No,
okay, congratulations. And then of course I knew he decommitted and all of that, but then I really didn't give it a second thought that he may come in and be a Razorback, but he is. But I'll tell you right now, that kid
great addition.
is a difference maker. If you take a look at, he's got a little highlight video there on our ASN Facebook. Go take a look at that, man. I mean, he's not
Yeah, that
just a
interception was something.
right. That yeah, it was something. That really was something there. He's a big time space eater.
He reminds me a bit of Mount Cody.
Yep.
He's not as big by no means because Mount Cody was just a different animal, but the way he just takes up two spots on the defensive line like no other kid in the state
Well,
right now.
well, this may end up being a mix of Razorback stuff because I just got a text message from TJ Hodges.
What's up, TJ?
Right. Let me see what we got going on here. Anyway, we've been working on trying to get TJ now for a little bit, and
He's
look,
playing for a state title this
eh,
weekend.
that's right. He is. He is.
Freaking awesome.
Let me get that hooked up.
Yeah, he left Mark Tree for Bryant, and he's done nothing but stamp his name on it,
Right.
just all season long. You know, it's a big jump from 2A to 7A, but it was nothing for him. I don't think he was ready for that
Right.
competition, and he stepped up to the plate and hit a home run.
Well, I'm waiting on him to text me back here. We'll figure that out. But as we're talking, we'll talk 2A real quick. Anyway, EPC beat Mount Ida in a great game.
Yeah, it was.
Mount Ida was a game effort. Every time that you face Mount Ida, you know you're going to get everything that they've got. I think
Yes.
they gave everything that they had. They fell a little bit short. Cross County beat 2A2 conference mate Des Arc. Desart made it out to the semifinals, and man, what a great season it is. You cannot be upset when you make it to the semifinals.
No, you can't.
I don't care how upset you might be. You can't be because you're one of the top four teams. You're one that's standing. And speaking of that, why don't we talk about that a little bit? I know we probably want to save it for the 4A, but we
Uh,
we can throw it in here. You know, everybody does rankings a little bit differently, right? And I mean, sometimes you get people that don't rank teams according to how they finish. My
just crazy.
my personal that's what you're playing for, right? You're
Yeah.
playing to see who finishes in the top, right? And so I feel like that you should give the teams that finish at the top, you should give them their due. I mean, I think they
Yep.
deserve it. Desart, are they the fourth best team in 2A? Maybe not, but they were the team that made it to the fourth.
Yeah. I know it's hard to fathom this, but once you get to the playoff, the regular season don't matter
Well,
anymore.
you play the regular season for the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
you're
what
just the regular season is just to get seeding. That is
that's
it.
it. I
Uh,
mean, there is something to be said about having a good regular season,
oh
but
yeah, of
even
course you want to.
in college football, even the college football regular season now doesn't mean as much as it used to.
No,
It's for seeding, it's for positioning, it's for getting yourself
you
in the
still
right
gotta you
position.
still gotta win at the end of the day. And if you're not winning at the end of the season, then there's nothing you can. I mean,
Right.
uh,
Well,
can't rank you.
let's use college basketball as an example. Do you get fired more for not making the tournament or more for not having a good regular season? I know those go hand in hand, but usually a lot of times, well, Mike Anderson was a good example of
Yeah,
that. He didn't make the tournament that much, and so what happened? He didn't get to keep his job forever because what? He didn't make the tournament.
as much as we love Mike Anderson, and we do.
Postseason, right? Postseason play, it matters. So anyway, Cross County won that game. I believe it was it 27-8. Let me go back here and look at that real quick. I'm usually pretty good on numbers, and there's just been so much happening
So
that
many scores.
well, it isn't just scores. It's just all the things that have been going on that we've been trying to keep up with and cover and take care of. And of course, the Razorback stuff, I mean, that's been part of what we've had going on for sure. I mean, it's a little bit different this week than it has been in the past. So, anyway, I'm looking real quick here, pulling that up. 27-8. I think Desert gave them a good game. It was 27-8. I think they gave them a good. effort, but I think Cross County is just too much.
Yeah, they have too many weapons all across the field, defense, offense. It doesn't matter. They're just you want to say they're stacked, as stacked as a 2A team can
Right.
be, just because limitations on how many players you got on the sideline. But my goodness, they are good.
Van Pascal, a phenomenal coach. I mean, just an absolute phenomenal coach, and he's got his team into the state championship game in his second year
Yeah,
there at Cross County.
yeah, he's got them ready. That's for dang
And I'll
sure.
tell you, they're not going to go in and roll over against East Poinsett.
No, that's going to be a great game.
Should
I
be.
can't wait to watch that one.
It should be.
It's a fun backfield to watch in
Yeah.
EPC, and I'm excited. I want to see what they can do against that just tremendous defensive line.
But depending on who goes where, maybe our ASN folks can go down there and be a part of that game, and then maybe either come back to where we're going to go to or go to. I don't want
Yeah,
to give out too much.
yeah,
But anyway, 2A championship set, East Poinsett County taking on Cross County in the championship game. So we're going to move on to 3A now. And we'll talk a little bit about these tomorrow if we got an opportunity. We're going to try to do something in the morning if we can before we have to leave out for the White County tournament. Still a full slate of games last week, pared down to the semifinals. You have Salem beating Osceola 32-6. Osceola scored on the very first drive of the game, I believe,
yep,
and then Salem basically took over. And TJ wants to talk, so let's just go ahead and get him in.
yeah. Sure thing.
So, if you can, TJ Hodges will be with us here. Hang on with us. We're doing this live, so you're going to hear it ring and the whole nine
We're
yards.
gonna put up them 7A
All
records
right,
right
let me,
now.
I'm going to tell him that we are live.
You got them hooked in.
Uh, well, I've got the Bluetooth.
Yeah, there it is.
We'll get to 3A here in a
Hello.
moment. Hey, TJ, what's going on with you?
What's good, man? Man, just getting out of practice.
Man, exciting times around you right now, right?
Oh yeah, yes, sir.
Not only are you playing for a state championship, which I know that you have coveted that state championship for a while now, but
Yeah,
now
he has.
you're
Hmm.
also committed an Arkansas Razorback. So let's just touch on both. How about that? You got a little bit of time?
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's fine. That's cool.
All right. Well, let's talk about Bryant and just the whole process with you. I know that the process probably hasn't been the easiest one for you moving from Arc Tree to Bryant, but now here you are. You are playing in the state championship. You're playing for the premier program in the state of Arkansas. What has your season been like?
Man, well, it took a little second to adjust to it coming from a 2A school, of course, but I mean, I was prepared for it. We do things different than what I was used to. We lift every morning. Every morning we never don't lift. We practice. It don't matter what type of weather, and the coaches did a good job preparing me for that, and so, it's been going good. It's been going good, and where I'm at now, I'm yeah, I'm just adjusted to it already. So
Yeah. And so it has been an adjustment from 2A to 7A. Of course, you were not the only player on that team. You and Kenyon Carter were really a nice tandem there. But it's a different world with the type of talent that you're playing with, right?
yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about that adjustment and what that's been like for you.
Well, you see bigger people, bigger linemen. It's the linemen that was different to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. In 2A, I was seeing some big guys, but they wasn't topping what I'm seeing now. And it was the game faster, and people you feel more hits now. And in 2A, I didn't feel that many hits, but now I feel more.
Yeah.
But
You got monsters you're
I'm
going
used, yeah,
against.
yeah. But I'm used to it, man. It's like it ain't no biggie. So
Well, you're going to get a chance to see some coming up here in a year or so, but or not even well, I guess it would be about a year, a little less than a year.
yes, sir.
But tell us a little bit about this state championship game. You guys got to get against Bentonville. We know Bentonville is one heck of a football team.
Yes, sir. Well, it's a history. They got a history with them. They put them out the third round, I believe, the year before last, and then they came back. Brian came back and beat him last year. So I feel like if we just go out there and execute and all of us do our assignment, we'll be perfectly fine. Like fly around on defense, run the ball, throw the ball pretty well, and I feel like we'll be fine. We'll take
Yeah.
care of business.
Yeah. What do you know? I know you said that you put them out, which we know there is a history there. Sometimes, it's been a matchup that everybody wanted to see for a while, but last year was the first year that they got a chance to meet in the state final, and this year, um, it's obviously a back-to-back state final meeting here. What are the coaches talking to you about when it comes to uh, the Bentonville Tigers?
They gonna fly around. They not gonna give up no matter what, and they coming after our heads. They got something to prove. They been there a couple times and they have not won it. So they not trying to, they work. They going with a chip on their shoulder, and you can tell by the scores and by how their season going. They trying to come from their ring. So we
Right.
can't lay down. We cannot lay down. And yeah, that's what he just been honest about, really.
I gotcha. Tell us how excited you are to get a chance to do this for the first time. I know that what was it? Was it last year or was it the year before that you guys at Mark Tree number one overall in 2A,
Mhm.
and the expectations were there, and it just didn't happen. It just didn't. I think injuries kind of hurt you and all, but tell us what it's like, your excitement level for getting a chance to play for that state championship.
Man, I can't wait. Honestly, I've been working hard for this, and I've been wanting this since I done got in the ninth grade. But in the year it happened with Marcher, that was my sophomore year. We got eliminated by Big. We got eliminated by Bigelow. I remember we was one game short, and we would have been playing the Paso. But and I've been had a chip on my shoulder since then, because we were so close, and I've been just hungry for it. But I'm excited about it, man. And
But then you've
yeah,
been running
yeah.
like you hungry for it this season. That's just a fact.
Oh yeah, yeah, yes sir, yes sir.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about just your season. As I know that you've touched on it, but like again, what's the adjustment? Know that maybe the stats may not be quite as big as they were just because you're probably not getting as many carries as you got before. Tell us what that's been like.
I mean, we rotate three backs, and it's three good backs. We feed off each other in some type of way. So it ain't no jealousy. None of us is cocky. We ain't selfish or none of that. So like
You're
if
trying to
I'm
win
not
a
on,
ring.
I know my other two. Yeah, yeah. If I'm not on, I know my other two backs on. If they on, you feel me? We feed off each other. So I mean, and we all got pretty good stats right now. But and and it's actually better because when you don't got no backups and stuff like that, you feel me? You don't stay healthy long, but when you got backups, you stay healthy long. And
Right.
it's fresh legs coming off the sideline every two plays, and I really don't got no problem with it. It
Oh
saved
yeah.
me for college, and so yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit about the college situation. We were there just 2 months ago
Yeah.
when you committed to Missouri, and just kind of lead us up to what it was like for you and your thoughts, and just give us some insight on when you knew that you were going to maybe take this step and come to Arkansas, and then tell us why you did that.
Well, I knew about like 3 days ago. I mean, I had it on my mind, but it ain't just that easy. I prayed about it or whatever. I prayed about it, and then God revealed it to me. So I think yes. Well, the first day he became the head coach, I hit him. I hit him back up. I'm like, hey man, let's do it. And he been on me for a long time. He been on me since I was like in the eighth grade. So we had the relationship already, and it was that.
So I got to ask you, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Did you have any insight on that he was going to be the coach before he was?
No, I actually did not. I thought he was still trying to recruit me for Memphis. That's what I thought. And then
Okay,
it all made sense once I seen the post, and I was like, oh, okay, well, you know. And
okay,
then he doing a good job. He tried, he got me and my homeboys or whatever, Ja'Cory Smith, Anthony Kennedy, and Danny Bill. So we chopped it up with each other, and we was like, man, we can flip the whole program around. Not just us. We
right.
starting with us, because that's gonna open everybody else's eyes, and they're gonna be like, okay, well, why did they do this? Why did they do this? And then we can get them to flip also. So
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Did you guys kind of get together and talk about that? Those guys that you're talking about, saying, "Hey, we're all going to do this together." Because I will tell you, as somebody that's kind of outside looking in here,
It sure looked
uh,
like it.
well, it does look like it, but also at the same time, it was such a great start for a guy, and for a program really that needed a good start, needed something good to happen.
Well, we planned it. Well, okay, so we all had it in our mind. So, and then I realized I'm like, okay, well, Danny decommitted, Ja'Cory decommitted, and I had it already in my mind. I hit, Ja'Cory is my teammate. I hit him up. I'm like, hey, so where you going? Where you going? He was like, man, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about going this place. I'm like, well, do what's best for you. So I was like, I told him, I'm like, well, if it make you feel even more comfortable, I'm probably gonna make the move to stay home. And they was like, well, no, I've been thinking about it too. I've been thinking about it too. So, we got in the group chat or whatever. We started chopping it up. And yeah, we made that decision. And
And here you
yeah,
are.
that was it. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, you've made a group of people happy here in the state of
That's a
Arkansas.
fact, son.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't. Well, I want to ask you about your dad because your dad was at your signing with Missouri or your commitment with Missouri, and he had an Arkansas shirt on. And
Mhm.
I had a conversation with your dad while I was there, and I said, don't burn any bridges. I said, because that transfer portal, now I had no idea that this was going to happen, but I said that transfer portal works both ways, and I thought, maybe he goes up there, and of course I knew that the way things were, that something was going to happen that was going to be different, whether that was, possibly Petrino taking over or, somebody else or, obviously Silverfield taking over. And so I just told your dad that, but I know your dad has got to be pretty fired up by the fact that you're going to be a Razorback because, I mean, he wasn't making any bones about the fact that he's a Razorback guy, despite the fact that you are going to Missouri.
Mhm. Well, yeah, he was fired up. He want what's best for me, and he told me he rocking with me no matter what. I know that. My mother the same way, my stepdad the same way, and my sister the same way. They rocking with me with every decision I make. But yeah, but he was really ready for me to be up there in Missouri because he actually stays in Waynesville, and it's like
Oh,
an hour
okay.
and a half away.
Okay.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
he was ready for that. But other than that, he was happy.
Well, I know he's got to be just excited beside himself that his son's going to be a Razorback. That's something that I think every dad would definitely want, especially somebody
yeah.
that lives or from the state of Arkansas.
And I got TJ. I got to meet you. I got to meet Beal. I haven't met Ja'Cory yet. But every I got to interview all of you at some point over this past season, and all of you are fine young men, and y'all gonna make a great addition on the Razorback football team. Just that's just a fact. The way y'all play,
Oh yeah,
you're
yes
not
sir,
selfish. You're there for the team, and y'all are gonna make fine additions to our program.
yes sir, yes sir.
All right. Well, TJ, man, we're gonna let you get, man. We appreciate you coming on with us and talking to us about just the whole situation and the turning and the flipping and the fact that you guys are playing in the state championship and all of that, man. We do appreciate it.
Okay, yes sir, anytime.
All right, man. TJ Hodges. Hey, TJ, what time are you signing tomorrow?
I'm signing at 8 a.m.
Is that in the gym?
Yeah, it's in the field house.
Okay. All right, man. Well,
Yes, sir.
you have a good one. All right.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank y'all for letting me
See,
on.
yes,
Yes,
sir. See you,
sir.
buddy.
All right. Razorback commitment and Bryant Hornet, and we might as well just talk about 7A while we got a chance
Yeah, we're
to.
here.
We'll get back to 3A in just a moment, but
Excuse me.
appreciate TJ for coming on
Good kid.
here. Bryant, boy, they were getting pushed last week by
They were.
Rogers. Rogers 50-43 loss. Rogers was up 35-21 in that ball game with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left in the game, and Bryant came back and won.
It was pretty spectacular. I was watching the whole thing while we were in Fordyce. I had it
Right.
on my phone the whole time. Man, it was such a good game.
Yeah, it was wild. And, Jeff Regan is a kid that we've talked about quite a bit on this. And I think that he had a phenomenal game and he was hard to stop.
It was.
There were some plays toward the end that I know that they probably want back, especially Rogers, the fake punt toward the end of the game there with about 1.5 left in the game, somewhere in there. They fake punted. Of course, it's one of those plays that if you make it, you're a genius, and if you don't make it, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it was just tough sledding there, and you know what you got here?
No, just Facebook. Just
Okay.
read it off.
Well, yeah, and I wasn't even looking on that side. So,
Oh, I was. There
so
wasn't nothing going on.
I got you. Sabrina Young Warner says go Red Bugs, and then Fred Prevo said let's go Prevo, we coming. So you know who that is? That's the Queen Prevo, his dad, I guess, of Bentonville. He is also a Razorback commitment
Ooh.
there. And what was the other comment
Oh,
there?
Shannon Crawford just saying correct to TJ.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Prevo, we'd love to talk to DeQuain. Just get with us, inbox us. We'll get with him even after signing day, if nothing else. So
Yep.
appreciate that you reached out there. Anyway, so Bentonville Bryant going to be a heck of a ball game. Bentonville beat Conway 26-21. It was a really good game there, and those two, and it's just one of those matchups now you got to wonder Bentonville, can they get over the hump? Last year Bentonville started off rough and ended up once they got through the non-conference slate, which they play the toughest non-conference slate in the state, I believe.
Yeah.
Um,
Had an awesome non-conference season
right.
last year.
And anyway, they were able to get through that this year, and so they're undefeated. Bryant's undefeated. Bryant and Bentonville really are probably two of the most the preeminent programs in the state, and they get a chance to match up. It's a matchup that we've been wanting to see for many, many years,
Oh yeah.
and now we get a chance to see it 2 years in a row. Last year, Bentonville pushed them to the brink. This year, we'll see what happens. That's a Friday night game, I believe
To
it.
to quote JR, it's going to be a slobber knocker. There's
Yeah,
no other way to put it for this game. They are, I'm not gonna say they don't like each other, because I don't think it's
yeah,
a competitive. They 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 both know what's at stake.
right.
It's not about animosity. It's that hey, they both got to go out there and take care of business.
So let's go back to 3A. I want to give you time to switch that, and I'm going to go over here and grab a water real quick.
Snag me one too. Get back to 3A. See, we talked about Salem a little bit with they had a big win over Osceola. Let's see who I forget the mashups. Haven't seen the bracket. It's been such a crazy week. Lonzie Diane Allen Davis saying let's go Bugs, and Dwight Crawford said trust me the Bentonville Tigers are coming full force. Well, that's what we want. We just want to see a great dadgum football game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On YouTube, you got one says, "Is there any chance the new coach can get Kane Archer?" It looks like Archer's going to sign with Green or with Utah. That's the way
Which
it
is
seems.
it's a bit nuts. But I'm not gonna knock Kane at all. He's a fine young man and had a heck of a career. He's done nothing but win, and I guess it's just too little, too late for him.
Well, again, anymore, fans, players, coaches, parents alike, don't burn any bridges.
Yep.
I mean, at this point, just don't do it because you just don't ever know. Again, that transfer portal works both ways. Top four in 3A: Salem, Mansfield, Fordyce, Boonville, and then your next four: Bismarck, Mayflower, Glen Rose, and Osceola. I picked Mansfield to win the state championship before the tournament started. And boy, I tell you what, hammering Bismarck like they did last week, 50-21.
I
I
did not see that coming
I did not see it
at
coming
all.
either. I didn't either.
I expected them to win, but not like that. Bismarck's a good football
Well,
team.
considering that they played earlier in the year and it was an overtime game right there
Hmm.
at Mansfield, and I mean that
You were
was
thinking a one-score game, at
absolutely.
least.
And Mansfield jumped all over them, 28-7, and then
Burton,
right,
man,
yeah,
that kid's good.
right, and then Bismarck came back and made it 28-21, and I think they were driving, and I can't remember if it was 28-21 or if it was still
It
28-14.
was, and then it just got out of hand.
Well, what I'm saying though is I think they were driving. They had the ball and they threw an interception in the end zone. And when they threw the interception in the end zone, the game changed
Yeah,
completely. And I think that was right before half. And I'm
yeah.
fairly certain it was 28-21 at the time. So that was a well would have been a game tire there.
Brad about fell out of his chair.
Would have been a game tire if he had gotten it. So um, and then Mansfield ran off with it, and so you got Salem and Mansfield playing each other for the third time this year,
Which
or
is
this I'm
crazy.
sorry, the third time in 3 years in the playoffs. Last year, same two teams met up in the same round at the same place, and Salem
Yeah,
is traveling to Mansfield. And of course, I know we got Salem B out there. He's a member, and he's like, "What the heck, guys? You're picking us to lose." And we've won. I don't even know how many they've won in a row, 20 something in a
yeah.
row now, something like that. And I agree, man. It's hard. I mean, you're playing the very best now, and so
I just think Mansfield has a bit better offense than Salem this year. Even though Salem's great, I don't
man,
want
they're
to take
both
nothing away from
so
their.
good.
Yes,
They're
they are.
both so good.
Both
I'm
super talented
I'm
on both
telling
sides
you,
of the ball.
it gives me heartburn. Randy Pickrell, we'll be talking about that later on tonight in his show. But they're phenomenal. They're both. I I said that coming into the game that I felt like the Salem Mansfield Bismarck were the best top three that I've seen in 3A since I've been following it. And then what I saw in that game was that Mansfield, there's a big difference between Mansfield and Bismarck, at
Yeah.
least as of right now. Now, maybe if they play that game over, it goes differently.
And do we know Bismarck had any injuries? I ain't got a clue.
I don't
But
know. But then you got Fordyce now sitting at three. And let me brag on Fordyce a little bit here because the Fordyce Red Bugs, I really thought that Mayflower would win that ball game. I'm just being honest with you. What I saw out of Mayflower when they played Salem, I felt like that Mayflower just had enough athletes on defense that
yep,
they could shut them down.
and they do. They have
But
great. They have great defense.
but somebody said this before the game, and I totally agree with them now. They didn't have Tim Rogers.
They did not.
And let me tell you something. Tim Rogers is a ball coach. That guy, he just knows how to coach ball, man. And um, two plays in Fordyce was in the end zone versus Mayflower. And I,
Yeah,
I was shell shocked. I think Mayflower was shell shocked. Um,
we were all sitting there stunned. I
I,
know I
I
was. I was behind
was.
the camera, just going,
Well,
"Wow."
think about it. Fordyce scored 28 on them. Mayflower had given up 59 all year long. That's half their points basically in one game that they'd given
Yep.
up the whole season. They'd give up 4 points a game.
Fordyce got speed.
Man,
They
I'm
have
telling you,
great speed.
while yes, they do, they've got athletes everywhere. I'm telling you.
And
The
and
the X factor,
and Cadillac isn't even 100%. He's like
yeah,
barely 50%.
that
Poor
X
kid.
factor right now is that little white-headed man on the side. I'm telling you.
Oh, you ain't lying.
I'm
You ain't lying
telling you,
about that at
I
all.
was I was so impressed. In fact, I even talked to him after the game. After he got done interviewing with us, which you can go back and watch that on ASN. I just told him, I said, "Man, I'm so impressed." I said, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm so impressed by what you did." I said, man, that is a good football team. That's a
Hmm.
really good football team that you just did that to." And he said, "Man," he said, "we just saw some things that we felt like we could exploit on film," and he sure did
By
because
golly, they did.
two plays and they scored. So
Mayflower, they didn't have an answer for him.
he's just been doing it a long time.
Hmm.
Mayflower's a good football team.
They are.
I mean that you look at your top 10 here. That's as strong a top 10 in 3A as I've seen. Just a good year, deep year for 3A. And speaking of that, the Boonville Bearcats moved on.
Hmm.
Are we coming to the Mansfield game Friday night? Mr. England, no sir, we're not. Mansfield's got a heck of a stream themselves, and I think they got it covered. They got it taken care of.
Yeah,
So
they don't want us having anything to do with
oh, easy,
it.
easy, easy. I just think that they've got it taken care of, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, they do.
I love
They do a good job. I watched their game last week too. It was a fun stream.
I love Coach Brown over there. He and I go back to college. I mean, we go way back.
Uh,
Josh Brown?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
forgot. He did go to Tech. That's right. That's a long
yeah.
time ago.
Oh, I got a story about I'm gonna tell one about Josh right now. So he was obviously being a coach, he's ultra competitive, right?
Oh,
And
yes.
we were always the best intramural team out there. And he played
They ain't lying. It's the
he
truth.
was
I played them.
he was playing on a team that boy they wanted to beat us so bad, and he
What's
got mad. He got mad one game, and we were playing him in the playoffs in flag football, and we were dominant in flag football. We were dominant in softball,
no joke. They
and
were.
and he got so mad he got thrown out of the game. And they told him to leave the premises, and so what he did, he went out to the road on the shoulder of the road and was still just screaming. But he was on public
Yes, public
property
property, you
there.
can't do
So
nothing. Oh man,
anyway, so Kyle,
that's hilarious.
we're not going to Mansfield, but we'll be watching for sure.
Yeah, we
I tell
will.
you what, I'd love to be there. I would love to be there for that one. But Boonville Bearcats, man. So
Heck of a program.
we predicted. I say we. I did. I predicted that before the season that Fordyce and Boonville would play in the state championship. Well, it didn't quite work out that way, just seating wise and how the playoff bracket worked out. You got Fordyce and Boonville playing in the semifinal. Now, for those of you that don't think I know much about football, I will say that you've got to give me a little credit for the fact that I predicted two teams to be in the final, and while they're not in the final, they are meeting in the semifinals. So that's
Pretty close.
it's close, right? It's close. So
Yeah, but who we picking?
anyway, with that said, we'll see what happens with that one. We're not picking nobody right now. We're picking up what happened. Boonville beat Glen Rose. They beat them pretty good, and I think Boonville's playing their best football. I said before the season or before the playoffs that they were the best 6-4 team in the state. I think that's been proven
Yeah, they're a
now.
good football team. You can't
Yeah,
ever count Boonville out. They're
no.
always solid. They got just them corn-fed country boys over there on the sidelines, and you don't want to mess with them boys.
Well, think about this. They come into the playoffs with 6 wins. They have to win five to win the championship, and they're 2 steps away from doing that right now. So anyway, I think that they're definitely a factor in this one. Boy, it's going to be a great matchup. These two matched up last year in the quarterfinals as well at Fordyce. Fordyce was able to win that one. What is the prediction on Friday night's game? Kyle, you're going to have to wait on that one. We'll tell you sometime tomorrow, most likely.
Sabrina Young, Warren saying "Go Red Bugs."
Yep,
You right. They were fun, man. I had a good time. Shout out to I can't remember the gentleman's name, but man, making the barbecue out by the gate
yep,
before the game, my soul. Woo. I
yep.
walked by, I said that smells good. He said, "Well, take you some."
That pulled pork, man, it was
I,
really good.
I just had ribs.
Uh, I mean, who serves ribs at the game, man?
It-
That's something.
they do.
Fordyce does. That's
Fordyce
right.
does.
All right, let's move on to 4A real quick.
Let me get there. I do know that Cadillac's dad was his business partner. They were partners, and so Cadillac's dad had, part owner of that smoker.
There
You
you
know,
go.
all right. Now to make people mad.
4A. So, our top four right now: Dardanelle, Elkins, Stuttgart, Warren, Arkadelphia, Monticello, Bauxite, and Prairie Grove, all played in the third round of the tournament. We our rankings, I feel like I said before, our rankings are we got to give people their due, right? I mean,
Yes, we do.
with the semifinals, I mean, should you not be ranked in the top four if you make the semifinals? I believe that you should.
Well, yeah, since
Now,
you're one of the last four standing, that would
well,
go to reason.
here's the thing. You could throw out a power ranking. You could say that. We could call it a power ranking where we rank people that we say, well, we think this one can beat this one head to head, and this one can beat
On a
this one
neutral
head to.
field.
Right, but also at the same time, a school like Hamburg, who did beat Warren, could we
And Monticello.
say, yeah, and Monticello, could we say today that they would? I don't know that. I don't know that they wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
But all I know is that when you do rankings, I feel like you got to give the teams that win their due. I don't think that it's right if, let's just say we ranked, um, let's say we ranked Warren number 6. Well, while Hamburg fans don't like the fact that we ranked Warren number 4, Warren fans aren't going to be happy that we ranked them number 6, you know?
Yeah.
So I just feel like you got to give people their due. That's how I have felt about the rankings last year. Prescott got upset with us because Prescott did not get, I think we had them at 10. They got knocked out in the second round of the tournament. I mean, you know, and you were still one of the teams that got ranked despite the fact that you got knocked out in the second round. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of football in the playoff, and we can't punish teams that win. It's like
Do I think,
is Elkins better than Stuttgart? We'll figure out that
well,
Friday night, but
let's,
we can't rank Stuttgart above
what
Elkins
about
yet.
the Clinton Yellow Jackets? Clinton
Yeah.
Yellow Jackets could probably beat most of the teams on that list.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them, but most of them,
Yeah.
but they're not even on the list right now.
They gave Dardanelle one of the best games they've had all season.
They gave Arkadelphia one of the best games they had all
Yes.
season.
you can say a lot about them, but they didn't win. They're out, and there's hands are tied.
Right. Well,
They understand.
let's talk about what did happen here. Dardanelle was able to win against Monticello. They shut down JoJo Ackles, and that helped their cause tremendously. Dardanelle now will host the Warren Lumberjacks, and let me tell you something. There is history
Yeah,
with
there
that
is.
game, and at this place, I was told on the phone yesterday. Now, 10 years ago, Dardanelle and Warren matched up in the semifinals at Dardanelle, and Warren was able to win that game. And
Oh yeah,
there was what a lot of people, some people on the Dardanelle side say was a controversial call at the end of the game that gave Warren a second field goal attempt, which allowed them to win the ball game. That's 10 years ago.
but
I
who
wasn't there.
who was on that Warren team?
Traylon Burks.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Traylon Burks
Yeah.
was on that Warren team.
So
So here we are now. They say that this will happen on the same date that happened.
which is nuts.
10 years later, you're sitting here. Um, Dardanelle had a good quarterback at that time named Christian Thompson,
Uh-huh.
and he was pretty much unstoppable. Well, now they have one named Creed Vega. But let me tell you something. What happened in the 4A playoffs? Let me tell you something. What happened in that Warren game versus Prairie Grove? Warren scored 47 points the other night and had the ball 13 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Prairie Grove had the ball 47 minutes, and I'm sorry, that's wrong. Prairie Grove had the ball for 35 minutes, and Warren won the game with the ball 13 minutes,
Speed.
47, 47 points.
Speed is what Warren
That's right.
has.
That's right.
And they have it to burn.
And so they were able to win 47-40, despite the fact that Prairie Grove probably executed the game plan that they had as good as they could have possibly done it, and they
Yeah,
still were not able to win.
there's nothing you can do with a team that can score in 3 plays or less every
That's
time
it.
they touch the ball.
That's it.
It's there's nothing you can do.
Probably the game of the night was the Elkins Arkadelphia game. That game
Yeah, it
was a
was.
game that you got a state championship rematch, and Arkadelphia. We picked I say we. I keep saying we.
It's all him.
I picked Arkadelphia to win the championship before we the tournament. I felt like that they would win it, even though yes, they finished second in the conference and all that stuff. And but yes, we heard from the fans about that. We told Nashville, just like we told Gosnell, that when you start saying we should be ranked higher, this is what happens, and it did happen. You,
Hmm.
I'm telling, it's not because the fans say it, but what does happen is it's a trickle down effect where they do say it, the players get a hold of it, and they're like, "Man, we should be this and that," instead of worrying about what's important. And the important part is who's in front of you in the
On the
game that
field that
Friday.
you
So
we
I,
don't matter.
exactly. I mean, we're pundits. We talk, and we tell you what we think is going to happen. And I'm going to tell you, I would match my results and match my predictions with just about anybody. I would.
We just happen to watch more high school football than the average Joe.
We
A lot
watch a
more.
lot. We watch a lot. We keep up with it. I mean, I could tell you a lot about what's happened with these teams, and comparing the results from one side to the next. That's probably as good of what I do as anything. Is I know what happened with Warren in Hamburg, and I know what's gonna. I say I know. I know the matchup there, but with Warren and Dardanelle because of the Dardanelle and Hamburg matchup. Which I will tell you, if I was Dardanelle, I'd be a little worried this week.
Oh yeah. Except if you create Vay, you shouldn't be worried at all. You just got to go out there and take care of business,
Well, I'm
and
gonna tell you.
he has to do his job, because if he doesn't do his job, then they're going to lose the game. So that's he has to be
By the
concerned about
way,
doing his job.
not only is it freaky that they're 10 years apart on the same day, Dardanelle had the same record, Warren had the same record going into the
Just
games. It's
nuts.
wild. It's wild.
It's going to be a great one, and it you know personally I got to lean to I'm Conference Homer, buddy. I got to lean to before A4. I got to stick with Dardanelle, and as much as it pains me to say that.
right?
uh, but that's going to be a tough out for them. It's really going to
Stuttgart,
be a hard game.
Stuttgart. They had a little bit of trouble early, but they were able to win pretty easily after about a quarter and a half. And when I think about the D3 Auto Sales Player of the Year, there are a few names that come to my mind, and we've talked about all of them already.
Hmm.
Nykel Lewis is one of them. Um, Creed Vega is another one of them, and the other one that I think of is Kane Price. I think
100%
I
that
think
young
those
man is a
three. I
good
mean,
football player.
in the top of my mind right now, those are the top three. Now, I think there are others. I do
Hmm.
think that there are others that you can consider, and we're going to look at them all. We're going to try to
Kane
figure.
Archer being one of those.
I think Kane Archer is like a what do you call it when you basically it's like an emeritus. That's what he is. I think we're not even going to consider him this year for the award because he's going to be like D3 MVP emeritus. Anyway, but those three right there, when I think about the award, I think about those guys right there. And again, there are other guys that we will consider when it comes to that, but those are top three in my mind. But we're going to vote on the thing and the whole 9 yards. It's not just going to be decided by me. But anyway, Stuttgart comes through, wins big, and I had a friend of mine text me, and he said, "I think Stuttgart's going to win it all." I said, "Hey, you got your right to feel that way, and I think that when you match up these four teams, you throw them in a hat, and
Pick
you
one.
say, this is the team that's going to win it. You have just as good a chance as anybody else when it
Yeah,
comes to it. The 4A playoffs have been the hardest playoff to pick that I've seen in quite a while because you think that
was
you know
so deep.
yeah, you think you know what's going to happen and you don't.
It's
And it is deep.
the
And
4A is deeper than it has ever been.
you look at Gosnell. Gosnell could have easily won the whole thing.
Yeah,
They could have. And they went
it
out in the second round.
was all about matchups.
It's all about matchups. Let's move to 5A. 5A's in the finals. 6A's in the finals. We've already talked about 7A. So let's talk 5A real quick. Lakeside Rams, we felt like Lakeside was limping into the playoffs. They had gotten beat by Hot Springs, they had gotten beat by Parkview, and then all of a sudden they come to life. They beat let's see, they beat Searcy. That's a good win
Yeah,
at Searcy. They beat Greenbrier at Greenbrier, and they beat Parkview at Parkview.
which
Now
is nuts.
tell me of that run right there, who's had a better run than that? I can't remember one.
Not in the 5A.
Searcy was 9-1. Greenbrier was 11-0, and Parkview I think was like 8-2, and losses to Benton and Bryant and Hot Springs. So 8-3
Yeah,
coming into that game with those losses that they had. Lakeside and Robinson matched up. Now this is another thing. Last year, this happened where Robinson played Lakeside in the regular season and won. And then when Robinson and Lakeside matched up in the playoffs, who won? Lakeside.
yeah.
Lakeside won. And so, I've been asked quite a bit, this year. I said, well, if you had to take the field or Robinson, who would you take? I said, Robinson. You'd take Robinson. And while Robinson is a good football team, I'm telling you right now, you better
Lakeside is
be,
the hottest team in
you better,
5A.
you better be ready.
They better be
You
ready.
better be ready.
They had a great game against Morrilton last week. Morrilton, man, I wanted Morrilton to win just 'cause it's a local team. Uh, got some ties there. They had a heck of a football season, but Robinson's just had too much for them. But Lakeside, yeah, they're dangerous right now. They are as dangerous as any team in high school football in the state.
They say you guys should go to Elkins at Stuttgart. We tried, already tried. It doesn't look like it's going to work out. David Bartlett said Stuttgart versus Warren for the 4A state championship. And as I said, you could throw those two, everybody in the pot, pull the name out of the hat. Whoever you pull out, that combination would be just as good as any combination that you got. Because
Yeah,
I can tell you right now, it could be Elkins Dardanelle, it could be Dardanelle Stuttgart, it could be Warren and Stuttgart. It could be Warren and Elkins. I mean, any of those four right there. It could be. I think about this. When I was a kid, you'd get to the NFC Championship game and you'd want to see a matchup in the Super Bowl. And every year, I would say, well, we're going to see this matchup, and every year it was the other one,
Oh yeah.
every time. So I feel like that's kind of what we're looking at here. You think you're going to see one, you're probably going to see the other. Anyway, this matchup, Lakeside beat Parkview, and again, that was a heck of a win. And as you mentioned before, Robinson beat a very game Morrilton team. I mean, Maddox Berry, what is it Sandage? I believe that's his name. He was a D3 Auto Sales Player of the Week. He's also matched up, or I'm sorry, he's nominated for the Metcalf Trucking Player of the Year as well, which is or Most Outstanding Player, which is given to teams within the 5 county region of Franklin, Johnson, Pope, Logan.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that right? In Yale, that's right. So anyway, we're going to
The
give that
River
award,
Valley.
right? You got about 14 teams in that right now. Well, the East River Valley, anyway.
Yeah.
It does reach over to the west, though.
Yeah, we don't care about them.
Anyway, um, what a great matchup we got between Lakeside and Robinson. That's going to be a heck of a matchup there, and we'll talk about that when we get a chance to talk about that either tomorrow or Thursday if we can.
Jerry's Green saying he's taking the Lakeside just because of the name. Jeff Pierce saying go Birds, Cross County.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
right. I mean, it's Coach Green over there at Lakeside. When you going to be there, Coach Green? When you going to get them Rams there? Fordyce versus Salem for the 3A state championship is David's pick there. And again, probably the same deal there. You could probably put those names in a hat. I would say, well, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to. We'll predict them whenever we get a chance to again. Let's move on to 6A.
For the record, for that Fordyce, I want Fordyce in that. I think that'd be awesome. And just because we got to see him
Right.
last week, hopefully I'll get to go see him Friday night. That's the, you know, tentative. I wish.
We'll
Uh,
see.
to, yeah,
We'll
we'll
see.
see. Got to make it happen, Captain. But
6A, we nothing really surprising here,
oh,
in my
not at all.
opinion. Uh, Picked Greenwood Shiloh a long time ago. This is a matchup that is, I think, I guess they played it last year,
Yeah,
and I think that Shiloh is the only team that has a chance to knock Greenland, or Greenwood. But with that being said, Kane Archer is still over there. Um, until somebody beats him, I can't predict that they're going to beat him, and so I
yeah,
feel
not
like
at all.
Greenwood's got a great shot at winning their third in a row, and Kane Archer, whatever he is,
Would be very deserving of it.
38, 39 in a row.
Yeah,
And
it's just spectacular.
I keep saying that he's the greatest quarterback to ever play in Arkansas history. But I
Well,
don't know if everybody agrees with that, but that's how I feel.
look, as much as I love Tyler Wilson, much as I love Matt Jones, his numbers speak for themselves, and his that win total he's got. I mean, who's got that? Who
Undefeated streak,
who else has that?
7A wins. He's
Yeah,
every year that he's played at Greenwood, they have played 7A non-conference teams.
yeah. They
And
haven't they played a couple out of state teams too over that time period.
well, I'd have to go
Yeah.
look.
So
But they haven't lost since they lost to Pulaski Academy in 22. They're in the state championship game. So anyway, that matchup, nothing surprising. Sylvan Hills, hats off to you, man.
yeah,
Great season. And I'll tell you right now as well, the Benton Panthers there.
heck of football
Benton,
team.
I'll tell you right now, Benton, if you hadn't ran into Greenwood, you might have proved me wrong on
Yeah,
that Shiloh Greenwood matchup because you're playing a heck of a ball right now.
they
They're
really
playing
really
really,
are.
really good. And they gave Greenwood a good matchup.
They did.
63-49 was the final score in that one.
It's about as much as you can expect playing against Greenwood. I'm
Right.
just
At
just saying.
this point, until
I was
somebody
hoping
proves it.
Sylvan could get past Shallow, for reasons. Sylvan's they're my PFG team of the year. They're my
Yeah.
pick for it, just because they went from for 2 years to, my gosh, they made it to the semifinals in the 6A playoffs, and that's saying something.
So you said out of state, yes, Stillwater, Oklahoma was one of their non-conference games. They actually played. Let's see here. They only played two non-conference games in 23-24, and they won both those games. Fort Smith Northside did not score on them. That was 49-0. Last year, if you look at the scores that they had, I feel like that might have been the greatest Greenwood team to ever play. Just the margin of
All
victory.
all due respect, Tyler Wilson.
Look, well, Tyler Wilson don't play defense, and
True.
outside of that Bentonville West game where they gave up 35, their scores were 58-0, 56-19, 28-17, 63-14, 62-7, 49-14, 63-14, 70-28, 42-0, 48-0, 42-0.
Good
That was
Lord.
a 42-0 to 42-0 was in the playoffs. And then Shiloh did score 35 on them, but they had a guy named Cash Archer that's playing at UCA pretty good as well.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely unstoppable last year. Anyway, I feel like that this Greenwood team is just trying to cap off history, and Shiloh's trying to stand in their way. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
Go
Uh,
Greenwood.
Shiloh, um, give them a lot of credit. They went down to Sylvan Hills and they won that game
Yeah.
handily.
Yep.
They
Yep.
didn't just, I mean, it was pretty much
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was a contest, but it wasn't a close one.
right. And then, like I said, Benton did their thing. So, anyway, but I think that we've got it covered now. Anybody
Yeah.
else?
Got them all. No.
Any,
Just saying. Yvette Pettis Freeman saying go Senators. Dave Moore saying the Bismarck game with Mansfield was 28-14 at half.
okay,
Uh,
there it was.
Bismarck scored after half
Yeah,
to make it 28-21.
there was an interception in the end zone. Was right before the half to make it 28-21. That's what it was. So if they get that score and then they got the score that they got after the half, then they would have been tied.
Yep. Yep.
Who knows if it would have been, eh, you know, still could have been a whitewash at that point.
Yeah,
Who knows?
it doesn't matter. Burton could have still gone off just for,
Right.
for another
The f-
200 yards in
the
the second half.
physicality of that Mansfield. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, God, that semifinal matchup between them and Salem is going to be one of the most physical games that
It
you're
is
ever going to see.
gonna be a great
I
one.
promise you, it's going to be something. And
Yeah,
you
we
got to
will be
pick a
too.
winner. You
Yeah.
got to pick a winner. You got to pick a
Hey.
loser. So
Uh. Um. Uh. I mean, who? Yeah. Just good luck. Roll a dice. 'Cause that's all it is, man.
well,
It's
you're just at that time of year now that it's very hard to pick and be 100% because you've got really good teams out there. So we'll put our picks out there, let everybody know what they are. But
try to get that
I mean,
tomorrow
we've already
sometime.
got them out there. Some, I mean,
Yeah.
we've already picked ends and all that. Trying to stick with those. So anybody else got anything to say before we wrap it up?
No, I believe that's it. That's everybody.
Well, I got to take a daughter to basketball practice, and we got the Randy Pickerel show coming up here pretty quickly,
Yeah.
and
I'm just going home.
Justin's going home. So we got White County basketball tomorrow, White County basketball on Thursday. We're going to be at least one place on Friday night, if not two. And then we got White County basketball on Saturday. So it's going to be a very busy next few days for us. Plus, we'll try to keep you involved with what's going on with the Razorbacks and what's going on around the state.
Yep. Good luck to my Apache squads. The boys and girls are playing equipment this week. Hate that I don't get to go see them, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
You know that they're not doing the Lake Area Sports is not doing that. I found that out last night. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I know. I
Like
know.
that's the whole reason I'm not there. Like literally, that's the whole reason.
They've done it for years and
Oh,
years, and then I don't know. Anyway,
jeez.
all right, guys, appreciate you joining us, and we thank you for joining us here on the Audible. We'll catch you hopefully tomorrow. I don't know if we've got time, but we'll figure out a way either tomorrow or Thursday to get in and give you championship previews, and you'll know where we're going by then as well.
Yep. Have a good one, folks.